All right. Well, good morning, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants event. My name is Joe Grabowski, and I'll be your host for today. Here we are, December, last month of the year. 2022 will be in the rear view pretty soon, but we just have a jam-packed month in store for you today. So if you haven't visited exploringbytheseat.com, take a minute and head over there. We have so much going on. We've got our Big Cats events that we do every December. So talking to scientists, conservationists from the Americas and Africa and other places around the world. We have a special with the Gardner Foundation where we're talking to leading researchers who are unlocking the secrets of our human body to solve things like diseases and other illnesses. We've got a lot of live stuff. We're going live to the Toronto Zoo to see the polar bears, live to the beaches in Nicaragua to see sea turtles, live in Antarctica with penguins. It just goes on and on and on. So do take a look at all the events that we have coming up this month. So I did mention Big Cats is one of our big themes this month, and we have a great event to kick things off. My friend, Ricardo Moreno, is joining us, a wildlife biologist and National Geographic Explorer in Panama. As a kid, an early fascination with big cats led to a career as a biologist and wildlife conservationist studying wildcats, primarily in Costa Rica and Panama. So he's probably done more tracking and camera trapping of jaguars than anyone else in Panama through his nonprofit organization, Jaguar. So I am going to bring him in front and center right now. Hey, Ricardo, how you doing today?
Fine, Joe. Thank you very much to invite me to do that for the people, for the kids, the new and the next generation for our planet.
Absolutely. Let me bring in a few, Ricardo. They can give a big wave at the camera here so you can see some of the crew who we have hiding out backstage. There's some of the teachers, some of the crew.
Hello, guys.
All right. Very cool. We can't wait for the Q&A action, and we'll probably have a little Kahoot quiz as well, so get ready for that. Ricardo, it's always great to see you. It's great to have you kicking off our Big Cats events, and I'm going to let you take over and share your story for a bit.
Okay. You can see?
Yep, looks good.
Okay. Hello, guys. Hello, everyone. I really want to share and to show to you guys about what happened with the jaguars in Panama, because it's so important to know a little bit about them. And as Joe said, when I was a kid, I really loved the wildcats, like the same age you have right now. And I was thinking always like, I want to do that. For example, when I saw the TV channels of National Geographic in 40 years ago, I was looking at the TV and I say like, I want to do that. I want to to follow those animals. I want to track them. And right now I'm doing. Was a dream, but the dream come true. You just follow your dream, kids. And look at this. Okay, right now I have a foundation called Yaguará, Panama, and we are a scientific organization dedicated to the conservation of the jaguar and the forest where they live as a key element for the health and survival of thousands of species of plants and animals, including us, including the people. Our work deals with changing people's attitude and perceptions about wildflowers throughout scientific information, use the technology, education, and working with local communities to improve coexistence between human being and wildlife, because it's so important. Our main objective is to save the jaguar, and for this we work to convince hunters, communities, governmental organizations and institutions, non-governmental organizations, private sector, security force, among others, so that the jaguar does not disappear and the other species, and including the forest too. As a scientific organization, we do scientific research and we use a lot of technology like camera traps and GPS radio collars. And at the same time, we are trying to make coexistence between the human and wildlife. We are working a lot in anti-predator measure. What is an anti-predator measure? Trying to the jaguar don't predate the animals of the farmers. And for that, we are using a lot of technical assistance, and sometimes we do economic alternative. But all the research data we produce, we translate that to education, awareness, and dissemination, because it's so important. As I told you guys, everybody need to know what happened in the whole world. And we work, this is a map of Panama, and we work between a lot in the whole country. Every single red dots you see in the map is because we are setting up camera traps to see the biodiversity and in that area. But at the same time, we want to see how many jaguars are in the different areas, because if we know that, we can see and we can say, okay, the jaguar population in this part of the country is very healthy or is in very bad situation. This is the main idea, to set up camera traps in every single area in the country. But those cats, they face many threats. One of them in our country is loss of 40% of natural habitats in Panama, mainly by deforestation and the bad practice of some farms. Habitat fragmentations. Imagine that. It's very sad. Road kills animals. It's incredible. Say to the fathers, to your father and to your mother, or to your parents, tell them, don't, if you see a plate, say 75 kilometers per hour, please tell them, don't go more than that, because we can roadkill an animal. And you guys, I believe in the new generation. I believe in kids like you guys. And if you tell that to your parents in a good way, they are going to understand very well. Decrease of its natural prey, like deers, like tapirs, like in the pictures, white-tailed deers, red-broched deers, pacas, every single species of the jaguar are decreasing right now. And it's a lot of illegal poaching in my country. And we are working a lot with the policemen and with the Minister of Environment, trying to reduce that or prevent that at 100%. We are working a lot on that. They are not pets. They are not pets, because a lot of people think, oh, look at this. The jaguar are so beautiful. Oh, I want one. No, they are not pets. They need to stay in the field. And you need to have this on your mind. It's a lot of illegal trafficking of skin and jaguar parts. And we are trying to find people who are doing that, like with the policeman, with the fiscalia in our country. We are doing, and we are helping a lot of people to trying to prevent this kind of situation, because with all of those situations, the jaguar are declining. The jaguar in my country, thanks all of those threats, are critical endangered. And when I was a kid, the jaguar was not critical endangered. And I want to go back. I want to, in the future, people like you guys can help me and help the entire world to help the big cats like the jaguars do. But the main conflict are decreasing the population of the jaguar is livestock conflict. People call human wildlife conflict, which is very, very strong, because a lot of people here in my country, they have cows in a very bad areas, and they usually have 50, 100 cows, and the cows go inside to the forest. And if they go inside to the forest, they can be at the same time with the jaguar. And the jaguar, if they have the opportunity to predate in one of those animals, they are going to predate that. Because for the jaguar, one dog, one cow, one horse, one sheep is a prey for them. It's not like, okay, I'm going to predate in a cow of Joe or to Miguel. No, it's just a food for them. And between 1989 to 2022, in my country, 386 jaguar had been killed, mainly by human-wildlife conflict, but could be the real number is 800. We are not really sure, but we are trying to reduce that, and we are doing a lot of education, a lot of awareness in the full country. We are writing a lot of papers. We go to the TV channel, we go to the radios to spread the information to everybody. Like every single year, we do like more than 100 times because it's so important to, as I told you, to spread the information to everybody, to people, adult people, to kids like you guys. We're working with the Ministry of Environment, and we have an agreement since 2017 in a program who call, the name is Program for the Preventive Management of Livestock Jaguar Conflict, because it's so important to do that, and it's very good. People like it. And we are using mainly WhatsApp and call and cellular phone calls. And the Minister of Environment, in the moment of start the pandemic, well, we're still in pandemic, but we start like, I was quite crazy, and I was like, what we can do, because we cannot move. But we start working more hard with the Minister of Environment, with the policeman, with the Senate from policeman, and with the promoters, environmental promoters for the conservation of the jaguar in Darien and in Chepo in my country. And we have very good result with them, which is very, very nice. And we are happy with that. A lot of people are helping us trying to prevent people kill more jaguars. We have a biological monitoring of jaguar and other wildcats and their main prey in Darien National Park, the national park who was a dream for me. And look at this. This is a giant anteater. It's a very rare species. It's one of the most endangered animals in Central America. It's very beautiful. For me, it's very beautiful, and at the same time, it's very rare animal. Look at the puma. It's the same species you have in the United States. In the United States, people call mountain lion, cougar, puma, Florida panther. This is in Darien National Park. Look at how these female are doing a marking behavior with his feet. This is the wily peccary. Wily peccary make groups between 100 to more than 300 individuals in a single herd. I was in between of those kind of herds. It was amazing. You can be freeze like, oh my God, look at those animals. And this is the main prey of the jaguar usually. Look at the king. This is a jaguar, a big male jaguar in the ridge of the top of the Darien National Park in a Pyrenees mountain ridge. And you can hear the noise of the rain. It's a very beautiful animal. This is in a national park, but at the same time, we also have a monitoring with camera traps in a cattle farms, and it's to minimize the conflict between humans and jaguars since 2017. And we are working with different farmers to trying to make a better management on his land. And we are working with more than 15 cattle farmers to trying to make a better work with them, and at the same time they can coexist with the jaguar at the same time. And this is an example. Look at this. And in every single red star you see is a place the jaguar killed an animal, and we help them to prevent those kills in the rest of the years since 2019 to right now. They never lose any single animal thanks the work we are doing with them, which is very, very good and very important for us and for the jaguars, really. And first, we set camera traps to trying to see how many jaguars roam in those farms. And look at this. First, we always say to the people, look at this. If the cows go to the river, at some point, one jaguar are going to find those cows and are going to kill and predate your animals. Look at this. This is in the same place of the cows, of the video of the cows. This is a jaguar. We call him Chuku Baby because was the son of Chukunake. Chukunake is one of the most beautiful and biggest river of the Darien area. Look at this. This is inside of the farm. This is Sue, one of the females. It's very beautiful now. But at the same time, we also have a monitoring with the GPS collars on those jaguars. We have right now 3 females with the GPS collars. And look at them. This is Sue, and Sue have a baby. We call the baby of her, the daughter of her, Estrella. Look at Estrella. It's so beautiful. That's amazing, no? That's crazy. It's coming back again. she liked the camera. And look at this. This is Sue again with her daughter, Estrella, but she's like the same size of the mother right now. This is some months ago. Look at them. They are so beautiful. And, it's very important to track them because we can see where is the behavior of them around the farms. And you can hear that. This is the howler monkey sound. And she's trying to capture something. Look at this. But the howler monkey found her first. And look at Sue again, with the greeny one on her mouth. It's amazing to follow those animals and to know a little bit more about the behavior of them, because it's so important to know about that. And this is the movement of two of the female who have GPS collar. Sue, the one of the babies, the yellow one. Look at this. They run mainly in between farms. The red one is Corazones, and Corazones move much more. She stayed and she spent more time in a forest. But those techniques makes us to be more close to the people. Why? Because we use the telemetry to search for the cluster. Cluster is like a lot of dots in the same place. And if we have a lot of dots in the same place, maybe it's because the cats do something or are doing something or predate on something. And we call the owner of the farm and we say, hey, hello, how are you? Everything is fine. Try to check if all your domestic animals are in good condition. And they call back to me and say, yes, Ricardo, it's fine. Why? It's because one of the female jaguar are roaming on my farm. I say, yes. And I create this kind of thing with the people, and works very, very well. For example, this lady is Doña Yeya, and he is the daughter, the son of her, Erasmo. Those people are helping me a lot, because they talk to every single farmers around to trying to prevent the people kill the jaguars, which is very, very good. And in the same place, we make meetings to talk with every single farmers around to explain the behavior of the jaguar and why they are so important for the conservation and for the biodiversity. Because I have a daughter. My daughter is going to have 4 years old. And I want she and you guys still continue hearing the voice of the jaguar. Really, because it's so important for biodiversity, it's very important for culture, and it's very important for every single person like you guys. I want to continue hearing the voice of the jaguar. Thank you very much. I hope you like it.
All right, Ricardo, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Not only sharing the threats, but also the really important conservation work that you're doing and how it's working. I think that's so important as well. And those camera traps are such I was just in Costa Rica and the Osa Peninsula, and we saw them in places all throughout the rainforest. And they're so important to get that secret peek, that look into the animals' lives who are so hard to see otherwise.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's a very important tool, and since 1995, researchers are using camera traps, but right now, it's not a simple a camera trap. It's like you can do a lot of different sets on the camera traps, and you can have videos like this or much better sometimes.
All right. Well, we're going to turn the classrooms loose with questions shortly, but before that, I'm going to queue up a Kahoot quiz because it's always fun to interact and see who comes out on top. So if you are tuning in right now, I did put it in the YouTube chat. I also put it in the private chat for the classrooms on camera, but just in case, I will put up the address here again. If you go to kahoot.it, then I'm going to share my screen. There'll be a PIN number for you to put in. So let me share my screen right now and we'll get that PIN number going. Let's see. There we go. All right. So the PIN number for today is 7951841. Now, if you have one-to-one devices at your own desk, well, then, of course, you can put it in there and join us. If not, you could ask your teacher to pop it up at the front of the classroom and you can shout out your answers to him or her. But we are going to get started shortly. I see we have students joining us already, which is great. If you have a phone or maybe a tablet, you could even scan that little QR code at the top and it'll bring you right into the Kahoot. We have 4 questions on deck for you today, 20 seconds for each question. You will get some points if you get the answer right. You'll get more points if you get the answer right quickly, but we got nothing for you if you get that answer wrong. Okay, looking at our names, we've got the Daring Wildcat, we've got the Amazon Wildcat, the Fabulous Owl, the Smart Iguana. So very cool to see all of those generated animal names coming in. We'll give it maybe a few more seconds because it looks like it might be slowing down. We still have a few students sneaking in. So we'll give it a few more seconds and then we will go live with our quiz. So a little mixture of true and false, a little mixture of short answer. And then if you are paying attention, you should be able to get most of those questions nice and quick. So Ricardo, we'll start in just a moment, but I still see students popping in. So I'm going to give them a couple more seconds.
Cool.
And what I love about the jaguar, Ricardo, is it's one of those species that if you protect the jaguar, you're going to protect hundreds, if not thousands of more species as well.
Exactly. Yeah, is it if the good thing for big predators, because big predators people call as a umbrella species, and as umbrella species is because they have big home range, and for a jaguar can have a range between 100 square kilometers to 1,000 square kilometers. It's amazing how but if the home range is very small, usually it's because they have a lot of prey around.
Yeah.
If it's very big, it's because the preys are spread on the area.
All right. Okay, I think we should get things started. I do see someone there with the name the National Jaguar, so we're going to see how they do. But let's jump in here. So, counting down to our first question. It's going to be a multiple choice question to get us started. Here we go. Where does Ricardo do most of his work? Was it in Brazil? Is it in Panama? Is it in Ecuador? Or is it in Peru? So it should be a nice, easy one to warm us up and get us started. A few more seconds on the clock. Where does Ricardo do most of his work? All right. Could not fool this crew. The vast majority went with Panama. Good job. We've got the hero duck in first place right now. It is tight. So let's go to our next question. Coming up, another multiple choice about how much jaguar habitat has been lost. Was it about 10%, about 25%, about 40%, or about 70% in Panama? 10, 25, 40, or 70%? We got 5 more seconds to lock in that answer. All right. Good job, crew. About 40% have been lost. Let's see what that did to our board. The smooth pony has slid into first place. We have a true and false coming up here. Illegal poaching of jaguars is a big problem in Panama. Is that true or is that false? Ricardo talked about several threats that the jaguar is facing. Was illegal poaching one of those threats? Is that true or is that false? All right, absolutely true. And I wonder, Ricardo, what's the penalty for if someone's caught poaching a jaguar?
Well, if someone was caught, can go to jail for 5 years or sometimes a little bit more. But we are trying to make this more robust.
Yeah. All right. So, Smooth Pony is holding on to first place. We have one question left, a true and false to finish us off. The jaguar is not an umbrella species, so protecting them doesn't help other species. Is that true or is that false? The jaguar is not an umbrella species, so protecting them doesn't help other species. True or false? Got a couple more seconds.
Muy bien.
All right. It is absolutely false. Like lots of big predators, they are an umbrella species, meaning if you protect them, you protect a whole bunch of other species down below them that share that same habitat. So let's look at our podium. In third place, got the space dove. In second place, we have the smooth pony, which means we have a new person in first place, the creative hawk. All right. Very cool. Well, as per usual, a big shout out to everybody who played along and congratulations to our top podium finishers. But now we're going to change gears and we're going to go to some Q&A action. So if you are tuning in via YouTube, send your question in the chat. But we'll start off with a few of our camera classrooms. So I think we'll go to Ontario. So not too far from me here in Canada. We've got some third graders with Miss Benoit. So I am going to bring them in. I believe they were the smooth ponies, so they finished in second place. Let's get them front and center. Hey, everyone. How are we doing today?
Hello.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself.
That's okay.
We were just picking a friend to come up. So one of our friends asked, Emma, what was it? Where's your question? Oh, that's okay. What type of iguana did the jaguar have in its mouth?
A green iguana. A big green iguana.
Big green one.
How big can those get, Ricardo?
Yeah, because in that area, for example, in this kind of in mid around August, is a lot of green iguanas mating, and that area have a lot of green iguanas, and I know they are part of the menu for the jaguars, including caimans, capybaras, but this is the first time I saw like a jaguar with a green iguana in that area of the project. But we know they still predate on them sometimes.
All right. We'll probably have time to swing back your way, so we'll see if we can grab another question. Let's go to New York this time. Miss Cottrell's fifth graders are hanging out with us. Hey, fifth graders, how we doing?
Hello. Have you ever been in close contact with a jaguar?
All right.
I cannot hear very well.
So Ricardo, that was, have you ever been in close contact with a jaguar?
Yes, not a lot of time because it's very hard to see a jaguar. But when the animal have a GPS collar, you can track them, and you can sometimes you can walk and you can see like the animal can be with you around 20 meters, 50 meters. Nothing happens. The jaguar, they are not killing people, which is very, very good. But at the same time, this is a wild animal, and we need to respect them and to have a distance with them. But it's not easy to see them. I always walk on trails, walk in farms, trying to follow them. But as I told you, it's very hard to see them. But when you see the tracks, a footprint on the ground, for me, it's like, wow, amazing. But when I check the camera traps and I saw the videos, it's wow, amazing. But it's more amazing when you start trying to capture them, to put it the GPS collar and to follow them. It's more amazing too, but at the same time is like you have in your hand the life of the animals, and you need to be perfect. You need to be you need to study. You need to be very well trained to do this kind of work. And I know if you are very well trained to, and you want to do this kind of thing you saw in the presentation, you can do that, because I did in my life. And if I did, you can do. If it's in your mind, try just to do the best and studying the whole life.
All right. Never stop learning, right?
Never stop learning. Exactly.
All right. Let's grab another camera classroom here. Who should we visit? This camera crew is joining us remotely. So they are near Sabo Beach in Ontario, some 4th and 5th graders. Let me bring their teacher in here front and center. Hey, Miss McNamara, how are you doing?
Hola.
The mute. Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
Well, we have a couple questions, but the first one, Azari and I were wondering about the cameras. How do they work, and how do you know where to put them?
Okay, they have a sensor, and the sensor, they have a camera, a small camera, and at the same time have a sensor in the down, and the sensor detect every single animal who move in front of that. And we choose the best place with people. If, for example, in the farms, I talk with the farmers, and the farmers, they told me like, okay, Ricardo, this is always the jaguar are on this trail or in that area. But in national parks, we used to walk a lot, very hard in different trails, and to trying to find tracks, footprints. And if we found tracks, we can see, okay, if it's a track here, basically is because the jaguar are using the trail. And I choose like a tree on the trail, like 3 meters from the center of the trail, to try to find or to have a very nice picture or a very nice video.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. We'll swing back your way shortly and grab another one of those questions. Okay, here we go. We've got a question online here. Miss Gully's class is tuning in, and Caleb would like to know, what do you find the jaguars eat the most in your area?
Well, in the area, for example, in National Park, the main prey species is the wild peccary. Is one of the animal I show in the videos. Wild peccaries may group between 100 and more than 300 individuals. And for the jaguar, they follow the herds, and they try to find the most easy individual to predate on them. But in the area of the farms, they used to predate in caimans and in capybaras.
All right. Thanks for that question, Caleb. We're going to bring in Miss Oakley's 5th graders. There they are, front and center. Let's see if they have a question for us. Hey, everyone.
My question is, what do the jaguars' calls mean?
The ones in the last is because they are calling. It's a behavior calling. It's like, I am here to tell to the other jaguars, don't come to this place because this is my area.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right, very cool. We'll swing back your way. Oh, someone's there. Do you want to squeeze your question in? Go ahead.
What's the largest jaguar you've recorded?
Well, the largest jaguar we recorded is could be weight around 200 pounds. Is the biggest jaguar we recorded. But in South America, because Panama is Central America, in South America, you can find jaguars around 250 pounds or close to 300 pounds. Imagine, they are bigger than here in Central America.
All right, great questions. We have some first graders hanging out with us. I'm going to bring them in front and center here. Miss Doyen's crew.
Hello. Say hi.
Yeah.
Our question is, we noticed the patterns on the fur of the jaguar. What's the difference between the fur on the jaguar compared to a leopard?
Well, it's very different, and thank you for the question. Because the jaguar, they have rosette, I think, and they have some points in between. But the leopard usually don't have the full rosette, and sorry, they don't have the full rosette. They have like lines, and make quite like a rosette, but they don't have points in between. The jaguars, in the middle of the middle section of his body, the rosette are super big, and the leopard is not like this.
First graders, while we have you here, let's grab another question.
Sure. We were wondering, especially with the collars and tagging them, do jaguars like to swim?
Well, yes, they swim very well, and the tag, they don't make anything to them, because imagine, since the 70s, people are putting collars on jaguars to trying to see the behavior of them, and especially in South America and here in Panama, the animals. For example, one of the females who have collars, they used to cross a river like very often. Every 2 weeks, she's crossing a big river. And in South America, they used to swim very, very often, and they say that nothing's happened with the collar. And don't worry about that. It's quite safe. It's quite safe.
Great questions.
Yes.
Okay, let's go back to Miss Benoit's crew. We'll let them start off with another question here.
Will baby jaguar born with the black spots?
Oh, that's a great question. Ricardo, are they young, the babies, are they born with their spots?
Yes, they born with the spots. But sometimes appear black jaguars. And when appear black jaguars, you cannot see the spots. In the moment of they grow, you can see if the light of the sun go to the body of the animal, you can see the rosette, the spots, and everything. But they born with the spots.
All right, I see someone else on deck. Go ahead with your question, bud.
How long do baby jaguars stay with their mom?
Well, a baby can be with the mother around 1.5 years, 1 year, or between 1 to 2 years.
Thank you.
Interesting.
Very welcome.
All right, thanks for those great questions. Let's see. Let's go to Miss Oakley's fifth graders, then we'll swing over to our remote school after that.
Hi, we have tons of questions in here.
Have a jaguar ever eaten a cow?
Yes, a lot of times, and thank God, we have this big situation, big conflict between humans and jaguars. But we are working a lot on that to try to prevent the jaguar kill the domestic animals like the cows.
So our follow-up question would be, what do jaguars usually eat, and are they hunted by any other animals?
Well, the jaguar usually eat in natural parks or in forests, just covered forests, wild peccaries, deers. Well, we have two different species of peccaries. colored peccary and the wild peccary, but the main species for them is the wild peccary. But at the same time, they can eat other species like pacas, like red-broched deers, sometimes tapirs, but less than wild peccaries. But in area of farms, they predate a lot on caimans and capybaras and sometimes domestic animals.
All right.
All
Thank you.
Great questions. Let's bring in our 4th and 5th graders, our remote crew, see if they have another follow-up for us.
I should have this unmute thing figured out by now. So we were wondering about, have jaguars ever caused problems by attacking humans?
Well, you know, it's a very, very good questions. Since 25 years ago to now, I am asking a question to a lot of different person because always people say jaguar kill people. But we found here in our country and in Central America, jaguar never kill a person. And the thing is, it's a lot of myth around that. And the main myth is because 500 years ago, the European people arrived in the Americas. And they come to America with the idea and with the stories about the real tiger. And in America, a lot of people call the jaguars tigre. And it's a confusion. It's a very, very bad confusion. And since 500 years ago to now, thanks that the people say jaguar or el tigre kill people. And right now we are struggling with this to trying to tell to the people, okay, if you have 50 years living in your farm and you know the jaguar arrived, the jaguar kill cows, kill dogs, but how many people the jaguar killed in 50 years? And they usually say no. And I say, why you say the jaguar kill people? Well, because my grandfather and my dad and my father say that. And I say, it's not true. It's because they always hear from other people, the jaguar kill people, the jaguar kill people, but not the jaguar. It's the tiger, because sometimes the real tiger in Asia, sometimes, not all the times, they kill people, but not the jaguar.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
All right. Let us visit our class in New York. Let's get another question from our 5th graders. There they are.
I know there's like 5% of black jaguars. Have you ever seen one?
I can't say it.
Have you ever seen a black jaguar?
Well, I never saw a black jaguar with my eyes, but with my camera traps, we found, like in Panama, could be 7 or 8 different black jaguars. Yeah, and you say very well, black jaguars, because it's a black jaguar. It's very hard to find a black jaguar because it's a genetic combination.
Okay, we're going to take one more question here from YouTube. Jason, Virginia, would like to know, if we don't keep helping jaguars, do you think that they will eventually go extinct?
Yes, yeah. We need to work together. We need to work with people, with the local people. We need to work with kids like we are, and spread information with kids like we are doing right now. Because if the situation still continue like right now, even organization like my organization, another one in other part of the Americas, are trying to help the jaguar, we need to go more far and more further to work with the people who have the problem, to work with institutions, to work with any single person who, because every single person can help on that. And we need to change this part. And I believe, as I told you, I believe a lot in the next generation, because it's so important for the future. It's so important for the biodiversity to keep the jaguar alive.
All right. Well, Ricardo, it's always a treat to have you join us. You're so passionate about what you do, and you are doing great work in Panama to protect those jaguars. So thank you so much for everything you do, working with the community, working with the next generation, and then giving us those little sneak peeks into the private life of jaguars, Ricardo. It's amazing.
Thank you very much, Joe. I really appreciate you invite me every year to this beautiful program. For me, it's one of the best program. I be part of that, and I really like it a lot. I really like to share with the kids and with everybody the thing we are doing in our country.
All right. Well, speaking of those kids, thank you so much to our teachers. Thank you so much to our classrooms for joining us, for playing Kahoot, for your amazing questions. And let's get nice and loud here for Ricardo. A big goodbye and thank you here from everybody who is tuning in. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Great to see you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Lots of events coming up.